Hello students, how are you? I hope you are all fine. Welcome to the English class. Today we are going to see a poem. Already we have seen what is the difference between a prose and a poem. Today we are going to see a poem. Usually the girl children are attached to their fathers. Here a father expects his son to be unique. What are all the things he expects from his son and what are all the things he wants to give to his son? Shall we see? Yes. A father to his son. This is the poem given in the 5th unit of your textbook, page number 161. This poem is written by Carl August Sandburg. Let's see who is he. Poetry is the opening and closing of a door, leaving those who look through to guess about what was seen during a moment. This famous quotation is said by Carl August Sandburg. He was born in 1878 and his life is ended in 1967. He was an American poet, writer and editor. During his lifetime, he was widely regarded as a major figure in contemporary literature. He won 3 Pulitzer Prizes. Pulitzer Prizes are given to the person who achieved in literature. President Lyndon B. Johnson observed that Carl Sandburg was more than the voice of America, more than the poet of its strength and genius. Let's go into the poem. A father to his son. What is the message? A father
gives advice
to his son. In this poem, a father gives a kind of worldly wisdom to his son. In this poem, a father tells his son who is reaching manhood to be strong and steely like a rock, to face storms and to overcome monotony. He advises him that life is like a fertile soil. One should be gentle and go easy. Even the growth of thin flower can break a rock. Need and ambition are very essential in life. Too much of money has killed mankind. Time is too precious to be wasted. Only fools waste time. Loneliness is conducive for a strong mind. Final and great decisions are made in silent rooms. The son should be unique and different. It is time for him to be on his own and work to achieve success like Shakespeare, the Wright brothers, Pasteur, Pavlov and Michael Faraday.
This is the advice
given to the son by his father. Instead of father, we can take the poet. Let's see the poem. The first stanza of the poem is: a father sees his son nearing manhood. What shall he tell that son? Life is hard. Be still. Be a rock. And this might stand him for the storms and serve him for humdrum monotony. What's the meaning of this stanza? Before going into the first stanza, shall we see about this poem? This is an interactive poem. A father gives a great deal of advice to his son in order to become successful in life. Now, shall we see the meaning of the first stanza? A father sees his son attaining manhood. From childhood, the son is attaining manhood. So, in this period, usually a girl or a boy needs much attention and care. What he will say to his son? He will say, life is hard. So, he advises his son to be rocky and steely to face the ups and downs of life. That is, pleasures and sorrows of life. Because the strong mind could help face all problems. Force is not the solution for all problems. We have to think and take a solution. Otherwise, it will be collapsed. See these pictures. Life is hard. The people are doing hard work. So, we have to be still hard to face the life. Take the second stanza. And guide him among sudden betrayals and tighten him for slack moments. Life is a soft loam, be gentle, go easy, and this too might serve him. Brutes have been gentle where lashes failed. Here, the father wants his son should be an example in facing troubles. It is the mind which would be very strong to tackle situations. In life, one has to face good people and bad people. When in tight corner, one learns to come out of it. For that, one needs strength of the mind. Defeats make one know what to do and what not to do. The father plays the role of an advisor.
Through gentleness.
Hardness can be conquered, and for it, the ingredient is waiting game. Here, the poet has effectively used images. The words sudden betrayals and slack moments lend contrast and color to the line. Next stanza. The growth of a frail flower in a path up has sometimes shattered and split a rock. A tough will counts. So does desire. So does a rich soft wanting. Without rich wanting, nothing arrives. The meaning of this stanza is the words flower and rock split clearly prove the greatness of softness and kindness. The word gentled and lashes are juxtaposed to bring about the contrast. What cannot be set right by force can be set right through kindness. Animal force can be tamed by gentleness. Here, the advice given to the boy turned man is both subjective and objective. See this picture. This is an example for fertile soil and gentleness, and here in this picture, this is an example for the flower which grows in between the rocks. The flower can split the rocks. Shall we go to the next stanza? Tell him too much money has killed men and left them dead years before burial. The quest of lucre beyond a few easy needs has twisted good enough men sometimes into dry, thwarted worms. Here, the father tells his son that too much of money has killed men and left them dead years before burial. Moreover, it turns him into thwarted worms. Money earned through wrong means is not to be appreciated. Even good men turn to be bad by falling a prey to the greed of money. See here, this is the picture of Sachin Tendulkar. From his boyhood, he is playing cricket and now he has become a great cricketer. He attains fame. Take the next stanza. Tell him time as a stuff can be wasted. Tell him to be a fool ever so often and to have no shame over having been a fool. Yet, learning something out of every folly, hoping to repeat none of the cheap follies. Time should not be wasted. A fool will do it. The father wants his son to learn something out of every falling. Learning never ends. Failures are essential. Every failure teaches a lesson. The father advises the growing man to learn from mistakes. He insists and believes that a good character will not repeat the same mistake because it can affect one's career and growth. See the picture of the clock. What is coming into your mind? Yes, time cannot be wasted. So, we have to use each and every minute in a useful way. Take the next stanza. Thus, arriving at intimate understanding of a world numbering many fools. Tell him to be alone often and get at himself, and above all, tell himself no lies about himself, whatever the white lies and protective fronts. Here, the father advises his son to play the role of a fool. In the previous stanza, his father tells him that if he wastes time, he will be a fool. But here, in this stanza, the father advises his son to play the role of a fool. See the difference. His son may be rejected by the world. The father wishes his son to be alone often. He expects his son tell no lies about himself. If he remains patient, certainly he would get the needed time to think. See this picture. The son is sitting and thinking alone. We have to think alone, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Next stanza. He may use against other people. Tell him solitude is creative if he is strong, and the final decisions are made in silent rooms. Tell him to be different from other people if it comes natural and easy being different. The father tells his son that solitude is creative. Yes, it is true. What is solitude? It is loneliness. If we think a solution for a problem or for an important matter, solitude is the best place, so that we can think pros and cons of the problem. And final decisions are made in silent rooms. This is also true, because if we take solutions in a hurry-burry, it won't last forever. So, the solutions or the decisions which are made in silent rooms are the best. He wants him to be different from other people. This father doesn't want his son like all other normal people. He wants his son to be unique. See this picture. Some people are standing in a line and only one seems to be different. This is his father wants from his son. Next stanza. Let him have lazy days, seeking his deeper motives. Let him seek deep for where he is born natural. Then he may understand Shakespeare and the Wright brothers, Pasteur, Pavlov, Michael Faraday. The father tells his son that he may have lazy days for seeking his deeper motives. Then he will understand Shakespeare and the Wright brothers, Pasteur, Pavlov, Michael Faraday. His solitude would develop his individuality and make him a rare human being. What is the father comes to say about these great people? Shakespeare. He is famous for the poem and the thoughts. And for Wright brothers, they are known for the invention, and likewise Pasteur, Pavlov and Michael Faraday. If we are alone in silent rooms, we can think freely. This is the advice given by the father to his son. See the pictures of those great people. The first one is Shakespeare. Second one is Wright brothers. Third one is Pasteur. Fourth one is Pavlov. And the last one is Michael Faraday. Come to the last stanza. Bringing changes into a world resenting change. He will be lonely enough to have time for the work he knows as his own. Here, the father hopes his son may bring changes into a world resenting change. He knows people will not back him up when his ways are unique. Truth triumphs, but human beings do not have faith image. Individuality will give one enough space and time to work and implement one's own ideologies. The poem enables not only the poet but also all young men know the ways and means to face life. This is the common advice for all the people. Shall we see the summary of the poem? Yes, you recollect the points. The poet gives a detailed description of a father's wisdom in directing his son. He motivates his son to be like a hard rock. Life is like a fertile soil. We can make our life fruitful if we are gentle and calm. At times, gentleness overtakes harshness. Greed for money has left men dead before they really die. Time should not be wasted. He tells him that solitude is creative. He wants him to be different from other people. This poem mirrors the sincere concern of a father towards the future of his son. Can you grasp all the points? Now, I am going to give you some questions with answers. You check yourself whether you can answer. Okay. The first question is, what happens to the people who wanted too much of money? What is the answer? Too much of money has killed the people and left them dead even before their natural death. Shall we pass on to the next question? The next question is, how would is being alone help the boy? How would is being alone help the boy? The answer is, being alone would help the boy to have freedom and decisions are made in silent rooms. Being alone would help the boy to have freedom and decisions are made in silent rooms. What does a tender flower can do to a rock? What does a tender flower can do to a rock? The growth of a tender flower can split a rock. Say the answer once again. The growth of a tender flower can split a rock. The next question is it a shame to be a fool at times? What is the answer? You are correct. No, it is not a shame to be a fool at times. Not all the times. Read the question carefully. At times, we have to be fool. The next question is, how should one face life? How should one face life? The answer is, life is very hard. So, one should face his life boldly with strong determination. Life is very hard. So, one should face his life boldly with strong determination. Next, we are going to see the figures of speech from this poem. In the last class, we have seen about some figures of speech. Here, we are going to learn two more new figures of speech. What are they? First one is antithesis and the second one is transferred epithet. Let's see what is an antithesis. It is a literary device that emphasizes the idea of contrast. Antithesis is a literary device that emphasizes the idea of contrast. For example, in our poem, the growth of a frail flower in a path up has sometimes shattered and split a rock. Brutes have been gentle where lashes failed. Here, these lines have the contrast idea. After antithesis, next we are going to see transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? It is when an epithet is transferred from the thing it actually describes to something else in the sentence. Again, this is almost always an adjective being transferred from one noun to another. Listen, a transferred epithet is when an epithet is transferred from the thing it actually describes to something else in the sentence. Again, this is almost always an adjective being transferred from one noun to another. See the examples from the poem. First example is, and left them dead years before burial. Here, listen the words dead years. This is transferred epithet. Come to the next example. Let him have lazy days seeking his deeper motives. Here, lazy days is the transferred epithet. Lazy days for his son only, not for all. So, this is the example for transferred epithet. And the next example is bringing changes into a world resenting change. Here, world resenting change is the transferred epithet. Few more examples for you. I had a wonderful day. Here, wonderful day is the transferred epithet. The day is not in itself wonderful. The epithet wonderful actually describes the kind of the day the speaker experienced. Now, have you clearly understood? Yes. Some other examples are cruel bars, sleepless night, and suicidal sky. See for some more examples. Life is hard. Be still. Be a rock. Identify the figure of speech in this line. Can you identify? Yes, it is metaphor. You know already what is metaphor. So, I need not explain again. What is metaphor? It is a comparison. The next question is, life is a soft loam. Here also, metaphor is the figure of speech. I hope you have understood and enjoyed the poem thoroughly. Thank you.